Good afternoon, everyone. This is Elisa Bustamante, and today I'll be talking about my psycholinguistics research project, which is called Impact of Intrinsic Motivation in the Development of Interlanguage, a case study of an EFL learner. Motivation holds great significance in the overall learning process as it serves as a critical component. It acts as an incentive, influencing learners' engagement, effort, and persistence when acquiring a new language. Moreover, motivation is a social psychological factor frequently utilized to account for the disparities observed in the success of second language learning. According to Ryan and Desi in 2000, intrinsic motivation, which is linked to personal interest and satisfaction, is one of the fundamental components of motivation within the framework of SLA or second language acquisition. Now, this study presented the following research questions. Number one, how does intrinsic motivation impact the learner's enjoyment and personal interest in the language learning process? And number two, what are the specific strategies or practices that can enhance and nurture intrinsic motivation in EFL learners for the development of their interlanguage? Theoretical framework. We have two theories that were considered for this study. The first one is the sociocultural theory by Lev Vygotsky. Now, this theory, originally proposed by Vygotsky, emphasizes the influence of social and cultural factors on language learning. According to Landolf in 2014, motivation in sociocultural theory, or SCT, is not viewed as an individual trait or disposition, but rather as a dynamic and contextually situated phenomenon that is shaped by the social and cultural environment. SCT recognizes motivation as a sociocultural construct that is influenced by the interactions with others and the surrounding culture. Now, in this theory, learners' motivation is seen as a product of social interactions, where they are influenced by the support, encouragement, and feedback received from peers, teachers, and the broader learning community. The second theory it's called SDT, or self-determination theory by Ryan and Desi. According to SDT, human beings have three innate psychological needs: competence, autonomy, and relatedness. When these needs are satisfied, individuals experience enhanced self motivation, mental health, and well being. The theory suggests that people are naturally curious, vital, and self motivated, striving to learn, extend themselves, and apply their talents responsibly. Now, this theory also emphasizes the importance of intrinsic motivation, which arises from individuals' inherent growth tendencies and their need for competence and autonomy. For previous studies, we have the intrinsic motivation in Saudi learners of English as a foreign language by Moskovsky and Arabi in 2009. It was an experimental study conducted in Saudi Arabia to measure the levels of intrinsic motivation among learners of English as a foreign language. This study involved administering a 27-item structure survey to a randomly selected sample of 55 Saudi learners from public schools and universities. Based on the results of the analysis, the study draws several generalizations and conclusions regarding the role of motivation in the attainment of English as a foreign language within the Saudi educational setting. Now, it emphasizes the significance of intrinsic motivation in language learning and explores different conceptualizations of intrinsic motivation and highlights the importance of engaging students in activities that inspire them and improve their self perception. The second study it's called Intrinsic Motivation and Young Language Learners: The Impact of Classroom Environment by Wu in 2013. This was a quasi experimental investigation that aimed to explore the relationship between the classroom learning environment and the intrinsic motivation of young foreign language learners in a predominantly monolingual context. The findings of the study indicated that a structured learning environment, which included appropriately challenging tasks, teacher support, and feedback that focused on self improvement and controllable factors, played a significant role in enhancing the students' confidence in their language skills. Additionally, providing students with choices regarding their learning content, methods, and demonstrations, along with training them in effective learning strategies, resulted in an increased sense of autonomy, which positively influenced their intrinsic motivation. Methodology. This is a case study with a qualitative approach and one female participant with a B2 English level. This research was undertaken in a period of 5 days. During this time, the researcher and the participant took the opportunity to establish a strong relation and mutual understanding. Now, through engaging in conversations and interactions, they fostered a comfortable and trusting relationship. Following this initial phase, an in depth interview and questionnaire were conducted to gather comprehensive insights into the participants' intrinsic motivation, engagement, efforts, and persistence in the language learning. Major findings. Intrinsic motivation and determination helps to improve English language skills. During the interview, the participant expressed her intrinsic motivation to learn English and determination to overcome challenges. She finds great enjoyment in learning English as it opens up opportunities worldwide and allows for better global communication. Now, despite encountering difficulties and having grammatical doubts, the participant remains steadfast in her commitment to improve her English skills every day. We also have that the participant's intrinsic motivation to learn English aligns with the principle of self determination theory. This by expressing enjoyment and fulfillment in the process of learning English, driven by personal interest and the belief that it opens up personal and professional opportunities. This also demonstrates the satisfaction of their need for autonomy, as they have control over their learning process and can choose topics of interest. And finally, the participants' engagement with the culture behind the language through activities demonstrates the influence of social cultural theory. This social interaction and cultural immersion contributes to the sense of relatedness and fulfilling their innate need for connection and belonging. Also, by engaging in meaningful language and cultural experiences, the participant perceives the relevance of English in her life and recognizes its potential benefits. This will align with the principles of both self determination theory and social cultural theory as it fosters intrinsic motivation, personal growth, and the integration of language and culture. In conclusion, we can say that intrinsic motivation, determination, and engagement with the cultural and social aspects of language play crucial roles in the English language learning journey. The participants' positive experiences, personal motivation, and determination provide valuable insights for designing effective language learning programs and interventions. By promoting intrinsic motivation, persistence, and successful language acquisition, educators can create an environment that nurtures learners' passion for language learning and supports their long term language development. In this section, you can find the questions that were made for the questionnaire, as well as the link to the interview. Thank you very much, and I hope that you enjoyed my presentation.